Carol Lander here with BlueSkyAtHome.com, and I have a new project for you. Do you like to recycle old things that you find at home or at a garage sale or an estate sale? I do, and most of us love the idea of bringing old things back to life. Well, I happened to find these old metal containers in our garage a couple of weeks ago. I bet you we've had these over 20 years. I totally forgot about them. Well, they're made of metal, and at one time I think they were shiny, but I've sort of forgotten, and they had really pretty feet on them. Well, I want to give them a new look. I want to update these old discarded containers and make them really pretty and be able to use them again. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to show you how I took these from drab and discarded to really, really pretty. All right, the first thing that you want to do when you are going to paint any kind of surface, whether it be an old piece of wood furniture or metal like this, you want to clean it, because things like this, even if they don't look like they're dirty, they do have dirt. They can have oils from your hands on them. They can have grime and grit and old wax on them, and you want to get rid of that before you paint any container. I'm going to be using a product that I just love. It's from Amy Howard at Home. It's called Clean Slate, and this will remove any kind of residue from old furniture, your kitchen cabinets, and metal containers like this. So I'm going to give it a good shake. And you want an old rag, and you just want to really saturate your rag. It doesn't smell bad at all. Okay, so I'm just giving this a good soak. And I'm just going to rub this all around my container. And look at all that it's bringing off. So after you've rubbed a little bit, kind of flip it over so that it's still wet, but the residue that you have gotten up doesn't stay on your container. I'm not going to paint the inside of these containers, so I don't need to use the Clean Slate on them. And you can see all the residue that's coming off, and I'm just going to clean my little feet. I'm going to do my other container, and then we'll start painting. Are you ready to paint? All right, so what's my inspiration for these containers? If you've seen all the beautiful blue and white vases that are so popular now, that's my inspiration. I actually have two of them sitting on my mantle right now, and I wanted to use that pretty blue for my pots. Now, I didn't happen to have a blue paint color at home, so I was able to buy at Joann's, which in my area is now open, but you do have to go in your mask. And all the employees are wearing masks, and they are only letting like 10 or 15 people in the store at a time. So the paint color that I found that I believe will work is a Deco Art acrylic paint. The color is called Royal Navy. So we're just going to squeeze some into my little plastic container. I have a brush, but before I paint, I'm going to cover my little feet with painter's tape. Those are going to get a different treatment, and I don't want to get blue paint on them. So I'm just going to use some green frog tape around them. Isn't painter's tape one of the best things ever invented? Doesn't have to get fancy, just kind of push it around there. Okay, and I'm going to paint this with my container upside down. start on the front here. And I'm sure that this will take at least 2, maybe 3 coats to completely cover the dark metal of this container. But I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do that. We're only going to do 1 coat. And it's going on very easily. I'm really used to using primarily chalk paint, but I also like to use lacquer, spray lacquer paint for different looks. Let me turn this around so you can see. And my little sticker that says Made in India, it's been there forever, I'm going to take off and paint the bottom. What do you think of this color? It's a beautiful blue. It's not navy, it's not cobalt, it's just a nice rich blue. Okay, so 1 coat on 1 container. I'm going to paint both containers with 2 or 3 coats of paint, and then we'll be back for the next step. Hey, I'm back, and as you can see, I have finished painting my old metal containers. It did take 3 coats. To be real honest, I'm used to using either Rescue Restore chalk paint from a maker studio or One Step paint from Amy Howard at Home. I haven't used craft store acrylic paint in years, so that took a little bit of used to. The finish is good. I love the color, and I think that's what's important for this particular project. So what I did is I gave it 3 coats. I also decided to give a coat around the top edge just in case it might show after I put my greenery in. Then I removed the frog tape, the painter's tape, from around the little metal legs, and I reapplied painter's tape around the legs so that when I do the gold leaf, I wouldn't get gold leaf on any of the actual container that I've just painted. So now we're ready for the next step, which is applying the gold leaf. I think this is what'll make this project just really, really pop. So you need 2 things. The first is gilding size from a maker studio. And I have done, I know, at least 1 other video and a couple of posts about using gold leaf. I've used silver leaf, I've used copper leaf. I love it all. It's just an amazing product, and it's so easy. So you'll need a small brush, and here's my package of gold leaf that we're going to be using. So the first thing you want to do, and this is sticky, is just take your small brush and just place it wherever you want your gold leaf to go. See, just like that. And as you see, it's gonna, I'm gonna move this over here to this side. As you see, it's kind of milky looking color, white color. Make sure it's right up against the edge of my container. So wherever you place the sizing, that is where your leaf will attach. and it doesn't take much. As far as the amount of sizing that you need, it may look like there's a lot going on there, but I'm barely putting anything on there. Okay, so now what you want to do is allow that gilding size to come to what we call tack. You just want it to be just a little bit tacky, using your ring finger or your little finger, and it'll take about 15 minutes, and you will know that it's ready when it turns clear. So as it goes from white to clear, it becomes tacky, and it'll be at the right point that you will add your gold leaf. So I'm going to let this come to tack, and then I'll be back for the next step, which is doing our gold leaf. Hi, I'm back, and we are ready to apply our gold leaf. Now I have to tell you a secret. I already did a applied gold leaf to one container, and I'll show you how it turned out in just a minute, but I'm going to show you how to do it here. So I have, it is a little tacky, and all you do is pick up the gold leaf. Now this is a piece left over from the other container, but you just kind of lay it down like that. And you'll notice I don't have painter's tape. I discovered with the first container that I really don't even need it. It was easier to see exactly where to place the gold leaf without it. So just go around. Sometimes it's easier with a larger brush, just to kind of brush off the excess, and then where you see places where it didn't attach, just kind of brush it on there. Foot. I hope you can see this. The application of leaf is the same whether it's gold or silver or copper or whatever surface that you're applying it to. Okay. All right, I'm going to do another one over here. I usually try and keep a piece of wax paper underneath, because it's just easier to kind of pick up the little flakes of gold leaf that come off of a project. If they're big enough, you can kind of gather them up and reuse them, because once they're attached and you burnish your gold leaf, you can't see where one piece started and one piece ended. So I'm kind of making use of every little piece that I can. And then I'm going to show you how to use an entire sheet. Got a little bit there. So when you are using an entire sheet, it comes in a pack of 25, and there is one sheet of leaf between two pieces of this orange tissue paper like this. So you just peel back until you have a piece of gold leaf exposed, and we'll just kind of do it like that. Press that down, let that come off, and again just brush it around. This is a really, like I said, it's so lightweight that it will tend to fly away. Just let that go. And we'll probably, if every single little piece or every bit of your, whatever it is your gold leafing isn't covered, if there's a little hole, that's called a holiday. I don't know why it's called that, but that's what it's called. And you can always go back and fill in those blank spaces with a little more size, and then cover it with a little more gold leaf. Just like that. Pick up a little piece there. But this gold leaf is really what makes this pot look so good. If I had not attached or applied the gold leaf, it just would have been kind of dull. But the gold leaf really gives it some bling. A little sparkle there. Let's take that off. And just a little bit right there. Okay. I may come back and fill in a few places, but at least you can see the process. Now, then you want to take one of your pieces of your yellow tissue paper and you want to do what is called burnishing. I'll just take both of these right here, okay? And you just rub, okay? And this kind of just gives it that shine and that patina. If you need to, you can go back and fill in spots that you didn't quite get covered, like I can see right there. Let me see if I can get that to adhere. Okay, I want to show you, I can come back and finish that, but I want to show you one thing I did with the first pot, and I'm so glad that I did. I ended up adding a line of the gold leaf around the edge of the container, and I think this really makes all the difference. It really gives it that extra edge. So I'll show you real quickly how I did that. So I've already applied the sizing around the edge, so I'm just going to take my gold leaf and just add it at the very top and smooth it. Pull this off and do it over here. And pull that off. And just keep going around. And I also found that once I did the first line, I could really see where the sizing needed to be. So I went back and did it again. And that just gave me a sharper line. But you know what? This doesn't have to be perfect. You want it to look as good as you can, but this is about reusing things that you wouldn't have used anyway. So you can see the process that I'm using here. I'll go all the way around. I'll come back. I'll fill in my little holidays where I've got spots, and then I'll burnish it. And then I'll be ready to finish off my discarded containers. So I'll show you how I do that. Okay, it's finale time. I finished both of my pots, and so now they have both gold feet and a gold rim and a pretty blue color. So now we're going to finish it off. I did buy at Joann a block of forest foam. I cut it in half using my bread knife. I think that's the easiest way I've ever found to cut this stuff. So I'm just going to set it down. It fits right inside my container, as you can see. And here are two faux topiaries. These are the original topiaries that these original containers are in. So just like the container, and this is like 20-something years old, and it was just kind of stuffed behind Sweet Shark's bar in another container. So what I did is I took them outside, I washed them off with the hose, let them dry outside, and then just to give them a little shine, I used this leaf shine. This is actually meant for live plants, but I thought, why not use it for faux greenery? Again, this is something I've had out in the garage for years. I really forget to use it, but I thought it would be a good idea for this. So I'm just going, you can see this has like a pitchfork type support. So I'm just going to do it on the diagonal so that it gets the entire block of florist foam. And I'm going to get, hold on, here's our trash can. You could use tissue paper or newspaper or any kind of paper you want to fill in, just to give this some stability and some support. If you've watched the videos I did on the decoupage pots a couple weeks ago, I did the same thing to support flowers. You can use paper. So then, because I want to finish it off and make it look really nice, I'm going to use some more of my super moss. I can't say how much I love this stuff. I used to buy it locally and it got so expensive. I think it was like $24. It went from $16 to $24 a pound, and I was like, wow. And then I found it on Amazon, and it's like 3 pounds for maybe $30. I can't remember. So that makes it look so much finished, so much nicer. Let me set this way. So here are our 2 containers. And I think they look beautiful, and they're going to go, I think, on our mantle. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you've learned, I hope you've learned a lot. But the most important thing is that it's so easy to take something that has been discarded either by you or someone else, something you didn't think was very pretty, and you can make it pretty again with some paint and some gold leaf or any kind of other application. So I